and to speaker of today's program. Wholehearted welcome to each one of you. So we have Sarita Agarwal with us to present on the topic now. To give a brief introduction about her, she is a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and has a honors degree in finance and accounting from the University of Calcutta. She is an expert in both Indian and US accounting and has been leading the US operations of Cloud Info Solutions, a company that provides bookkeeping, accounting services in US over the last 15 years. She has also automated several hundreds of man hours of operation. Extremely tech savvy and a passionate about sharing her. With this very, very brief introduction, I wholeheartedly welcome you for today's program, ma'am.
Thank you, Divyaji. I would first like to thank SIRC Bangalore to give me this opportunity to present the topic Cloud Accounting Need of the Hour. Actually, this subject is the most important subject as of today. Reason being that the way the world is moving, the way our system, India's system is moving ahead, we need to shift into some or the other cloud accounting softwares. So before getting into the subject of cloud accounting, or before giving some practical demo of cloud accounting software, either using QuickBooks or Zoho Books, which are two leading cloud accounting softwares, I would first like to give an like a brief idea about the topic. Like we have this 3 days topic, which is on information technology. So let us first understand a brief of it, and then we'll go into cloud accounting. So I'll share my screen. We will go over a presentation, and there we can understand that why do we need cloud accounting software and how did that come into picture. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if my screen can be seen. Is it visible?
Yes, madam, visible.
Great. Yeah. So what do we try to say over here is like the topic of this 3 days is information technology. So for information technology, the word technology itself is so big that we need to understand that what do we mean when we say about technology? Is it like anything which comes on our way and we just try to adopt it? Is that called technology? I would say that if we talk about technology, technology is something that includes 3 important things for us to adapt to it. We need to have a mindset, we need to have a skill set, and then we need to have tools to get those technology in place. So that itself brings that we need to first adapt those, and then once we adapt it, then only we can develop these skills, and once we develop these skills, then only we can go to the tools which can help us to adapt it. So the tagline which we always use for these kind of presentation is adapt, transform, and innovate. That is what technology teaches us, that we need to buy the technology, we need to adapt to it. Unless we have that in our mind, that we need to come out of our traditional practice or whatever things we are doing, which is still in a traditional way, which still is manually being done. Somehow or the other, we need to get into a process or into a system which is technology based. So this 2 years of pandemic has always has already made us ready that we need to get into technology related stuff. We need to get into cloud, be it only not only cloud accounting software, be it anything, whether it is cloud accounting software, whether it is our documents, whether it is contacting client, whether it is solving queries, issues of our client, contacting department or coordinating with the department, completing our compliances, everything needs to be done on cloud. So cloud accounting is just one topic of it. What we are trying to talk today is about getting totally paperless, getting totally on cloud. by getting on cloud. When we talk about cloud accounting software in the later part of our session, what we will see is cloud accounting software itself makes us around 50% paperless, 50% on cloud. We do not need to get 100% into a document management system or something wherein we can keep all our documents, because the cloud accounting software will take care of like a greater extent of it, what we want to put in cloud. So we need to have that in our mind, that unless we adapt and we embrace the change, we cannot get ahead. Even a butterfly, to be a butterfly, first it needs to get out of its shell, which is the cocoon, and then become caterpillar, and then finally, after fighting a long battle, then only it comes to us, which is a beautiful butterfly which we are able to see. So to for us also, the journey is same. We need to come out of our shell, we need to come out of our comfort zone, and then get into these technologies related stuff, which most of us has already got into it and adapted because of this pandemic situation, which forced to adapt this technology. It's now that since the situation is getting little better, we might again go back to where we were, but this time many of us would understand that this kind of situation can come to us anytime again. So we need to be prepared beforehand, that now we are ready to work anytime from anywhere, and that is what we have as a mindset. It's a very like good quote, and like a saying which is said by Charles Darwin, that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent that survive, it is the one that is most adaptable to change will survive. So that is a good message for all of us, that if we do not adapt to change, if we do not change ourselves with the change in time, with the change in technology, we will surely die. I will tell a story just after this slide where you will be able to relate it practically. That like if we see all these, many of we might have seen in our like childhood days, we were using, all of us were using Kodak camera or the Nokia phone or the newspaper, which was a paper like a manual newspaper, or this yellow pages to find out the address or to locate some shop or something like that. Now these all have become digital dinosaurs. The only reason was they did not adapt to the change. They did not adapt to the recent technologies which they should have adapted on time. So they had to die. They had to become digital dinosaurs. By this, I'll tell you one story. Like my journey started back in 2004 when I started with my articleship in a CA firm, which was not a typical CA firm. It was more into technology front, since like I would say it is 2004. So it's almost like it's 16 to 17 years now that I started with my journey. At that time, what did I see is I started working in a software called QuickBooks. QuickBooks as a software at that time did not have a cloud like a cloud accounting software. It was same as Tally, a desktop application, which was obviously much more powerful with much more functionalities than what I could see at that time in Tally. But still, it was a desktop software, and it was totally based on a software to be installed on desktop. The database was on desktop, and it was based on the computer. Like it was totally based on our office desktop computer, wherein we have to install the software and use it. But then what did I realize? That we are running 10 years behind those other countries. Reason being, like from 2004, I would, if I correctly remember, somewhere in 2008 or 2009, yeah, they came with the cloud accounting software, cloud version of their accounting software, QuickBooks. That means that they thought it at that time that desktop version of the software, though it was being used by a huge population all over the world, the software desktop version of QuickBooks, but still they thought at that time that this technology or this desktop version would surely be disrupted, and people would not like to use or depend upon their computer or depend upon a location to get their accounting done. At that time, they started thinking and they started building a cloud based software of their of QuickBooks. So back in 2007 or 8, I do not remember exactly, they came up with cloud accounting version of their software, which is cloud QuickBooks now on cloud. So, and very soon, like they did not face much of difficulty. Initially, clients were showing hindrances to shift to cloud accounting, like to shift from desktop version of QuickBooks to cloud-based QuickBooks, because the reason was they have to now purchase QuickBooks for each company separately, wherein earlier the way we have now Tally, that if we are using Tally, we can create endless number of companies in Tally. We don't need to purchase Tally every time we need to open a company. It's Tally with all the data into one software or into one kind of installation which we have. Whereas in QuickBooks or in any kind of cloud accounting software, what do we need to do is we need to purchase for each company separately. If we are trying, if we have 5 companies, we need to purchase 5 version of QuickBooks or Zoho Books or Zero, whatever cloud accounting software we use. So that ways, it still in India, we do not have that mindset. We think that it becomes very expensive, or it is like so expensive for us to maintain or to purchase or to pay for 5 different softwares. But then we do not realize that we are getting free of so many things. First of all, we do not need to maintain a database in our computer. We are not dependent on our computer or on our server to maintain the database. We are hassle free that if my computer crashes, if the computer where the data is there gets crashes, what will happen? I need to maintain a backup. So that is not required. That all hassles are being taken by those companies who are providing us those softwares. So that is one benefit which we get. Now, secondly, there is no kind of installation required. We don't need any technical knowledge, wherein if the computer gets formatted, we need to call an IT person and ask them that please first like remove the license from this computer, and once it is formatted, then reinstall the license of Tally so that I can use Tally. And then it needs to be installed in each computer which is connected with it, or which, if it is a network version of Tally, that means it is multi-version, then each computer needs again to be installed, because the main computer where you had Tally had been formatted. All these hassles we are free of if we are using cloud accounting software. So QuickBooks thought at that time that now I need to come up with cloud accounting software, or else slowly and slowly even I can become a digital dinosaur. So we found that more than 100 clients at that time, they did not even think before shifting from desktop version of QuickBooks to online version of QuickBooks to cloud accounting version of QuickBooks, because those were, they had the mindset that if I am shifting to this software, I am getting more flexibility. I can check my accounting from anywhere. I can also see important ledgers or statement or the balances of customers from my mobile. I don't need to depend upon a location. I don't need to depend upon my office. I don't need to depend upon my team, my accounting team. If anything is important, I can do it myself. So they adapted to the change. They transformed themselves, and then they innovated this accounting software wherein people started using it. So we, none of us want to become a digital dinosaur, obviously. And so it's for us now, it's time for us to change, because the pandemic has also forced us to change. So now it's high time that we all adapt to the most recent technologies, otherwise it will become too late. So all these are digital titans, which has shown us that everything is now on cloud. You need to use things only when you need it. You don't need to have an like assets, or you don't need to have things kept with you for a long time and you use it sometime. Like we all were habituated of using yellow taxis or the local taxis, but now most of us are using Uber, Ola, because it is at our convenience. We don't need to wait downstairs and then wait for a cab, and out of that 3 or 4 cabs will say no, I don't want to go to that particular location. But we know that if we are booking an Uber, wherever we want to go, it will come to our location. By that time, we are prepared what time it is coming. We are not waiting for it. We can get other things done. We sit and we are at the place. We don't need to think of driving. We don't need to think whether car is all well maintained. So it makes our work so easy. And now we all know that Netflix, most of us are using it, that instead of waiting and to see things which we want to see, we don't need to wait for that. If whatever we want to see, we just check that and we check and we look into it. LinkedIn has helped us to create a digital presence or a social presence in the digital world. So people who wants to know about us, many times when we like yesterday I did a webinar at WIRC on like on a social profile or on outsourcing business, on outsourcing accounting business. So there was an important thing which I mentioned, that we all need to have a social existence. This is also part of technology which we need to adapt, that if we are thinking globally, if we are thinking about cloud accounting, so the members who are attending this webinar today, somehow or the other, they have in their mind that they want to go into this cloud accounting stuff. They want to start using cloud accounting. Either they have started using it or they want to use it. They just want to have an idea about what are the benefits which they can see or find in these softwares when they compare it with the other software which they're already using it. So in that case, I would also like to say that you should have a social presence. You should have a LinkedIn ID, wherein many times if you pitch a client, be it an Indian client, be it an global client, they try to look into your profile, and first place where they look for you is in LinkedIn. They try to check your website, they try to check your Facebook, they try to check your Twitter. So it has become very important for all of us to have a social profile, so that what we are, what we do, people come to know from our social profile, because it is always not possible for them to ask all the kind of questions which they are looking for by to us verbally. So they try to check those things in our social profile. So we all need to have a good social profile to have a digital existence, and that is also a very important part which the new technology is teaching us. Skype, I don't think so we need to talk much about it. We all know that what Skype has done sitting over here, not today, it has been long years, I think more than 15, 18 years that I have been using Skype, that sitting over here, we can talk anywhere in the world, we can talk to the team members, we can coordinate, we can make phone calls through Skype, we can share files, and we can have group meeting or whatever we want, we can do through Skype. So the world has become such a small place, and that is just because of the technology which has made it possible. So all these things. Now in this picture, we need to spot the dinosaur. Who is the dinosaur in this entire picture? Do anyone want to write on the chat? So I'm not sure whether we can see the response right now. So let me proceed further, that this classroom concept itself is a dinosaur now. How many of us are able to attend the physical classes? Do we really want to attend the physical classes? Do any one of us has so much of time? Any professional who is looking to do any other further courses, we always try to have courses digitally online, so that we can do at our comfort. We can attend the classes whenever we are available, whether it is like we prefer virtual classes. We do so many courses and we get certified virtually. Now QuickBooks, you can get certified virtually, like online courses, you can attend the online courses, you can get the exam and you can get QuickBooks certified. Same way you can get Zoho certified, you can get Zero certified. So we don't need a classroom anymore. In fact, our children's from last 2 years, they have also learned to do classes virtually. They are also not able to attend their classes, though they want to attend, they do have time to attend it, but time has forced them to do all their classes digitally and through the technology. So just think about the kids who are coming up. By the time they grow to our age, by the time they become a professional, they don't need to be taught these technologies, because they are forced to learn these technologies, which many of us would have avoided from like to have them know those things. We would have waited for a few years before they know those things, which now they are forced to learn, and they have learned and they now love it. So that is the way the technology works, that even the kids are able to do their classes just because the technology is in place. So the world is entirely changing. It's a VUCA world. It's what do we mean by the VUCA world? That we need to be volatile. We need to be adaptable to the uncertainty. There can be any kind of uncertainty, unambiguous situation, which we need to understand, prioritize, and work accordingly. We will face complexities every day. There will be every day we will face new scenarios, new problems, and we need to find out a solution. Everything has a solution. It's just that whether we are able to come up with the solution at the right time or not. So it's all about that. We need to be ready with these uncertainties, complexities, ambiguity situation, and we need to come out of it using the best possible technologies which we have and which we know about. So technology teaches us few things, that we need to have a mindset, we need to have a skill set, and then we need to have a tool set. Unless the owner of the organization has in mind that I need to adapt to the technologies, unless they adapt to it, they buy the technology, they won't be able to pass on to the other team members. They won't be ready to adapt it. They will always show hindrances, because in this journey of last 16 to 18 years, wherein we had to adapt, or we have adapted all the recent technologies which is being used in the US. Even our team shows many hindrances, because they find it that they have to learn something new. They have to now again start doing something new. But if we think that yes, we need to get that thing in place because we see the longer advantage of it. Just for an example, we deal with more than 300 clients, and they all are US based pest control industries or the turf care industries. So we have to deal with so many different softwares, because the concept over there is that they use best software for each and every part of the work. They do not depend upon just one software. Like if we are using one software, we try to use each and everything in the same software so that we don't have to spend more. But they try to use different softwares for different stuffs, because all these softwares have their own advantages and facilities. They provide some extra advantage out of it. So they might have a different software for accounts payable, they might have a different software for accounting, then for AR, then for payroll. So all these softwares, when they use, we need to have password for each one of them to access it. So is it safe to keep the password in a spreadsheet or in a software which is itself not very safe? So we started using a software called LastPass, wherein all the passwords for all our clients are secured over there. Team cannot see that password. It is encrypted. They just need to click on the link and just use those credentials, which itself gets filled in, and they need to click login. So it was really, they did not want to take that effort. They were more comfortable using it through spreadsheet. But then we knew long-term advantage of it, that might be if any of the team member wants, or intentionally or unintentionally try to change the credentials, if we might get into a problem. So we had to force them to use that software LastPass. So this is just a small example. Any kind of technology which you want to adapt, which you want your team to adapt, you first have to adapt yourself. You first have to think and buy to it that yes, this is futuristic. It will help my organization. It will help me personally to take one step ahead, and it will save my time. Because many times what happens, if your password change, you're forced to change the software with that password, so that next time all your team members are able to use it correctly. So in that case, you don't need to remember the password. If it was in spreadsheet, might be you type in the password and then you forget to save it. Next time you do not remember. Again, you have to reset the password. If it is in spreadsheet, there are chances anyone can copy that spreadsheet and take home, or else this file might get corrupted because it is being used by so many people multiple times. So for each and everything, if we try to analyze the advantage and the disadvantage of it, we will understand why do we need it. So each and every industry is getting revolutionized. We are getting into such a world wherein slowly and slowly accounting will not be required to be done by human anymore. It will be done by the system. Most of the things are already in place. If when we see the practical demo of Zoho books and QuickBooks, we will see that they, by the use of artificial intelligence, they have made our work so easy for so many things, getting the bank reconciled, entering bank transactions. So the way the world is moving slowly and slowly, the way the RPA is coming in, or it has already come in, we might not have to do many stuffs. We just put some commands. It will be world of that even chartered accountants will have to have some idea, or they should be able to write simple codes which will make their work easy. Because RPA or bots, if you have heard about it, what does it do? You just feed in some command. It's like it's an advanced version of macros which we have in spreadsheet. We just write few commands. It follows the command and does the process which we are trying to repetitively do by ourselves. It will do for us, and we can focus more on other parts, other important things. So that is the way the technology is moving, which we need to really adapt as fast as we can. The role of accountant has now totally changed. Now it is no more like our clients, our customers do not look upon us to do their bookkeeping. They want more from us to help them to grow their business, to help them to understand their number, how are they performing, so that they can improve on their business. The role of an accountant is no more of that of Monimji, which was 10 or 15 years back. The role of accountant is now as a business partner, as a manager, as a they look upon CA to play the role of MBA now, that they are looking for you to not just get their accounts done or internal audit done and give them 50-page report, which they don't even bother to study. They don't want to look into it. They surely want you to give them some live dashboards, which is so interesting that they want to look into it. They understand their numbers well. They understand how their business is performing, and they exactly look into that particular thing which matters to them the most, which will help them to improve their productivity, improve their business, and they totally understand which part of their business is of no use to them, which they need to get rid of, which part of business is really helping them growing and giving them more profit, and they focus more on that. So they're expecting that kind of live dashboards from you, rather than just doing the bookkeeping work wherein we call them, we ask them for the bank statements कि अरे आपने अपना बैंक स्टेटमेंट नहीं भेजा, आप अपना इनवॉइसेस नहीं भेजे, मुझे आपका जीएसटी रिटर्न जमा करना है, मुझे आपका अकाउंटिंग कंप्लीट करना है. नहीं, they won't be looking from you for those things in coming days, because those things will be self-driven. It will be self-done by the system, the way the accounting softwares are moving ahead. So we need to strengthen ourselves internally to impact externally. That means we need to know all these things. We need to embrace those things into our organization, get those things done for ourselves, so that we are ready to place those to the client. So if client is looking for it, or even if it is not looking for it, we can surely show them what can we do for them, and that ways it you gain confidence of the client. They look upon you, and they don't try to switch, they try to be with you, and even they refer others to you, because they know that you are doing something different than the others. That's the thing which we all need to do today. We need to do something different which the other person is not doing. We should have a USP, we should have a selling proposition, value selling proposition, which others do not have. Every organization should think of something new or something different which they think others are not doing. Might be a very small change. You might be placing your reports to the client. We just print some reports, we staple it, and we give it to the client. Instead, if we put a cover page wherein it is having the company's name, the logo, the period for which the report is being prepared, and we place them, it gives them a better presentation. It gives them a sense of understanding that yes, they understand us, or they know us, they know about our company, they know the logo of our company, they have been to our website. So those small little things matters a lot to a client. The way the accountant's role has evaluated, we can see earlier accountants were looked upon to make the data entry, and now what we are looking for, like earlier we had bookkeepers, now then it came to accountants, and then it now is a big data specialist. Now we are looking for data scientists, we are looking for data analytics, we see many chartered accountants now, they are trying to go into data analysis because that is where the future is. Earlier chartered accountants or the accountants, they used to think my role is just of bookkeeping, taxation, compliances, those are the things only which we could do. But no more, accountants are not restricted just to do those things. We can do much more than that. We should not restrict ourselves that we are made just to do accounting or taxation or compliances. We can choose as our business model, we can choose to have so many different things. We can be consultant. Many of our clients, like many of our customers, when we visit them, we see that they are so unorganized. What do we try to say? We just come to our office and we discuss, अरे ये तो बहुत अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, इसके पीछे तो कुछ होगा नहीं, उससे बस काम लो, डॉक्यूमेंट्स लो और उसका काम खत्म करके दे दो. Why don't we think that we play a role of consultant for them, wherein we say them that we will organize your organization, we will put the technology, we will digitally transform your organization from year till year. These are the loopholes, these are the things which we think you are still doing manually, which is very unorganized, and your resource is being wasted, extra time is being given by them, and we can play a very important role to take you there, wherein you see your office organized, you have everything at place. So that role can also be played by a chartered accountant when you find customers who are really, really unorganized and are doing things all traditionally. We never realized, though we are into US accounting and taxation, many CA firms, not only in India, in Mumbai and in other cities, they approached us because they could see that they themselves are not able to convert their firm, and they are finding this to be a huge scope, wherein their clients are also looking to be organized, to be digitally transformed, but they are not finding the correct person who can guide them. We don't need to know everything, we don't need to do everything by ourselves, we just need to play a role of a consultant. We just need to guide them that these are the steps which you need to follow. We need to take one by one whatever problem is there in their organization, give them consultants, give them consulting, give them suggestion that this kind of vendor can help you to solve this. We'll play a role of guiding them, we play the role of giving them the roadmap so that it can be achieved. This way, we have converted so many firms and we have solved their so many issues so that they can digitally transform themselves and have a better like organized structure, organized office wherein team are working, they are also happy, and the owner is itself so happy, and they find time for themselves and to do something better. So please do not restrict yourself just to do accounting or taxation or such kind of compliances. Rather, extend your horizon. You can also play role of HR consultant, wherein you see that your company or the clients where you go, they do not have anything in place as an HR, wherein their team members, many times we take interviews, people are coming from different organizations, but they never got an appointment letter, they never got an offer letter, and those things stop them to move forward, because if they go to some organized sector, they always ask for their prior organization's appointment letter. So if we can help them just by giving them consulting and giving them some suggestions that take these steps and get your HR part organized, it won't take much time. Everything can be done organized online, it can be done digitally. They don't need to give extra time, they don't need to spend extra money or extra resource on that. It can all be organized, they just need to have one-time consultant who puts things into place and things are done. And all these roles can be played by chartered accountant if they just try to embrace themselves with few recent and most like the technologies which is required these days. They should be well aware of G Suite, they should be well aware of Office 365. If we use these two tools extensively, we see that we can organize our own organization as well as many of our clients, wherein we are playing consulting role and we can earn a good amount of money you doing those stuffs. We have already started doing it and we are getting a good response from clients who are looking forward for such things from us. So that is what I already discussed about, that no more people are looking for Munimji. They are looking for future ready consultants. They are looking for accountants who are not just helping them to complete their accounts, but also helping them to grow their business, telling them what is the issue in their business, what is the major problematic area, how can they focus on that, what is the corrections required. So that are the things which we need to play. So I'll just quickly go over this slide, like what is growing and what is declining. Obviously, all the manual entries, all the manual stuffs are declining, and all the things which is technology based is growing. So now we will see, like obviously I'll be sharing this presentation. You can go into details. We now need to think of strategic planning. How can we have more controls, and by giving less times, again the time is coming wherein or like in between we were starting with random audit or the sampling of like the datas, but again the way data analysis is coming in, the way the data scientists are coming up, each and every records can be tested, each and every record can be checked in details. So now if we as a chartered accountant still follow the old method of auditing, we will no more be into business, because the way the audit will change, each and every record needs to be checked, which is highly possible with less human intervention. Those things can be easily done. So we need ourselves to be changed. We need to adapt to the new technology. We need to have idea about data science. We need to have idea about advanced Excel, how to use Power Query, how to use macros, how to use G Suite products. So we need to have a good knowledge about those things so that we can first automate, transform our own organization, then we can help others to do so. So changing expectation is compliance to reliance. We were earlier doing accounting, GST compliances. We are still doing it, but what they are looking for is management reporting, trend analysis, KPIs. These are the stuffs they are looking for. And what is in future, they are looking for forecasting, tax planning. They all want to look ahead. What will be my business like 2 years ahead? How can I forecast my business 2 years ahead? How will it grow? Whether this product will be required in the market 2 years down the line. What is the new thing which I need to bring in, which people will be accepting it 2 years down the line or 1 year down the line. So we need to be futuristic. We need to forecast the future now. Otherwise, we all will become a digital dinosaur. So that is where they also expect chartered accountant to play a role. So this is a roadmap for successful firms wherein we need to increase the quality. We need to price each and everything which we are doing. The way we give invoices to our clients is, suppose we have done 5 things for them, but what does our invoice say? Consulting services or accounting services or bookkeeping services or compliance services, just one thing for the period this and this, and our invoicing is done. How about if we tell them the 5 different things which we have done, 1, 2, 3, 4, that we have done bookkeeping, we have done bank reconciliation, we have reconciled your credit card, we have reviewed your financials, we have prepared a dashboard reports. For those we have spent this hours, and that is why we are sending you this bill. If a client has all the breakdowns of what all you have done for him or her, and you have the hours distribution along with your invoicing, they will not be able to ask you any questions. They see your invoice, they never call you that, "Arey, ye to bahut high lag raha hai, isko thoda reduce kar do." They are ready to pay you if they have all the details, what you have done for them, what are the benefits they are getting out of your work which you are doing for them. We really do work hard. We provide so many solutions, we do so many things for our client which they never even realize, because we are not presenting them. It is not their mistake as well, because they are not able to understand what we are doing for them. They're not able to see the value of our work. And since we are not presenting it to them in such a way, how do they understand that what value we are creating for their business? It's all about how good we are able to present them what we are doing for them. So yes, we need to be we need to create value by having a forecast for them, by setting their budgets, by analysis, and by giving them dashboard reports, which I already told. I don't want to repeat on those. So now after these many things, the topic which is we are supposed to talk about today is cloud accounting. So the entire thing is now on cloud. So why not accounting on cloud? So that is where the thing comes up from. I'll just quickly go over the slides, not required much. So when we talk about cloud accounting, the what we come up with is cloud computing. From there we go to cloud accounting. What do we want to say about cloud computing? So when we talk about cloud accounting, first thing which comes in mind is अब तो tally भी cloud में है. What can we do is we talk to tally, they give us a server, we put our data in that server and we are on cloud. No, that is not cloud accounting. Anything which you can type in the URL, the way you open Google, the way you book your flight tickets by using Make My Trip, the way you book your train ticket by using yatra.com, the way you book hotels, or the way you book your like hotel room, or you book your travel plans or any such things, the way you type in Google and open your Gmail, those things are called cloud computing, and from there the concept of cloud accounting comes in. If you are able to type a URL and you're using just a user ID and password to log in, you are not using the hard disk of your computer to install anything. That is where the cloud accounting is. Even if your data of tally is in cloud, you are installing that software in your computer. Even if you're not installing the software in your computer, there's a third party computer. It's a VPN connection. It's a VPS connection where you're installing that software, and that you need to get into some other's computer from your computer to use the tally. So that is not called cloud accounting. If you talk about cloud accounting, you type a URL, quickbooks.com, sohobooks.com, and it is an URL which opens. That is where the role of cloud accounting comes in. That is called cloud accounting, and not any software. Tally is just a name which I'm telling you because most of us have used Tally. But unless you are using internet, the only thing which we need for cloud accounting is a good internet, and even a computer with an average configuration will do. We don't need a very high configuration computer, and a computer with just an average configuration, but yes, a good internet speed, we are into cloud accounting. So if we talk about disadvantage or we talk about a backside of cloud accounting software, it's only one thing which obviously is now no more an issue with any one of us, is it needs internet. We have to have internet for cloud accounting software. So anything which is hosted in a third party server, which we don't know, or even we are not able to see that, we are just using it, that is called cloud computing. We'll just go through this quick. Let's walk in through the road of cloud computing. Yes, all these softwares are the cloud service provider. We don't want to know about it. Yep, I don't, yeah. Now, let me tell you some good, let me tell you about cloud accounting versus desktop accounting. What are the benefits which we get from cloud accounting? As I told earlier, I would just repeat it, that there is no software which is required to be installed. We only need internet. Wherein if we are using desktop version of softwares, we surely need to install a software in the computer. So your computer configuration should match that software to allow you to be installed. If the configuration is such that the software cannot be installed, you need to change the computer, you need to change the configuration so that you can install the software. The accessibility of this cloud accounting software is very high because you don't need to be in front of a particular computer where that software is installed. Any computer from anywhere, you just need to have your username and password, and since these are highly secured, you should have that mobile with you wherein the OTP goes, or the email access wherein it will send you the verification code. If you have those things, you are all set. and the accessibility of any desktop software is obviously less because we need to depend upon the computer, whether it is through VPN, VPS, or your local computer or your server computer. That should be on, that should be available to you so that you can access your desktop accounting software. It's a real-time communication, hence it saves so much of time. So what do we mean by real-time communication is, as soon as we pass an entry, it is available on cloud. So if you are passing an entry, the other person can see there and then. They don't need to wait for you to send a backup of your data, then they restore the backup, and then only they are able to see the transaction. No, as soon as the transaction is entered, it is available to everybody to check on it. So it's highly flexible. You don't need to wait, or you don't need to depend upon sending the backup file again and again. So cloud accounting software is again a cost effective because you are only paying for that part which you needed. So it has subscription model. It is cloud accounting. All the cloud accounting software is subscription based. That means you pay only when you use it. So if you plan to use QuickBooks, suppose, first of all, they provide you 30 days of free trial. After free trial, if you are very much convinced the data which you have entered does not get lost, you can convert that software, that version itself, the user ID password which you have used for free trial, and start using it after paying it in future as well. So, and even after 1 year, if you think that I don't want to use this cloud accounting software, you want to shift it to some other software, you're not paying it again till the time you need it. If you want, you can also take monthly subscription, so that you need to do, you don't need to pay a lump sum amount in one go. And the best part is you don't need to wait for any update to come in. As soon as any update in the software comes in, you don't need to install anything. That software is available to you there and then. As soon as they have the new like any new updates, they install it in the system at their end, and we see live. We just they put it a comment that it's a new part in the section. You check it and you are ready to use it. You don't need to wait for them to install any updates or to send you an email that click on the link and install these updates to have your software all updated. There is no kind of version wherein you think of version 5.1, 5.6.2, 7.3 and so on. Everything is on cloud, everything on everyday basis. Whatever updates they are doing in the software is readily available. It is really secured. You don't need to worry about the security because the way the server is maintained, it has backup, it is totally logged, it is totally encrypted. All our data are encrypted. We many times fear that is my data secured, who all are accessing my data. Do we ever think about this thing when we are opening a bank account? When we have a bank account, our data is accessible by all the employees of that particular branch. Whomever you ask, "Arey, mera account ka balance batao," they are easily able to check your account and tell your balances. They have access to so many things. So why do we think that these data are not secure? These data are highly secured because the person who are building these softwares, they cannot play with your data. They are not at all concerned with your data. Moreover, the financials, what we keep in that book now, it is, if we are a private limited company, that is easily available in ROC site. They just need to pay 100 rupees and they can take all the details of our company. So what are we worried about? Are we putting any transaction password? No, it's all about just view password. It's all about we are entering our data, which is already available to all the departments, to many of the investors, shareholders, whoever we are talking about. By paying few rupees, they can easily check on those datas. But desktop datas are having the security is an issue for the desktop accounting software. Reason being, you might have your hard disk might crash. Someone might want to take the data backup, and like even you don't know, and your data has been backed up by your team member who want to create some nuisance in future. Your if you have not taken a backup and suddenly there is a fire, how do you get that computer? Your backup is gone, you have not taken the backup. So there is so many different problems which we might face with the desktop client. I will give you another example. Since we are totally on cloud accounting software, since like might be 10 to 12 years from now, we are into cloud accounting software. So there was a fire which took place at like in our near building at our office, and suddenly the entire area had to be shut down because the fire was quite a big one, and it took hours to stop in the APJ house, Kolkata. So all the offices of the building had to close, but we were still working. We did not have to, though our offices were closed, but our work did not close. Every one of us could go home and start working immediately. We did not have to even wait for our office to be restored, which took maybe a couple of days to be restored. So that's the benefit of cloud accounting software, or having things on cloud. Not only cloud accounting software, having all your things on cloud, that we are ready to work anytime, anywhere. There might be any kind of natural calamities, there might be any kind of man-made calamities which we might have to face. So we should be ready that we must go on. The client won't stop. If we are thinking to work globally, the people who are sitting outside India, who are in other countries, they would not be ready to listen to your problems every time. They need their work done. So how do you do it unless you are ready uh, to work from anywhere, anytime, and to not get into those problems, or just be a crying baby saying them that I have this problem, I won't be able to deliver your work today. In that case, you should be ready to lose your client. So we have to be on cloud, be it anything. So a few of the good benefits which you find in all the cloud accounting softwares are: it automates your payment. It has many of the cloud accounting software with some extra payment. It allows you to have the payment gateway. What do you mean by payment gateway? The way when we book tickets, movie tickets or flight tickets to make my trip, they have their own payment gateway. We enter our credit card details, we enter our bank details, and we're able to book the ticket. The same way, we can send link of payment to our customers, so that customers can just click and they can pay directly from there. They don't need to add us as a payee into their bank and then make a payment. They want, they can make a payment through credit card. They want, they can make us payment through bank, debit card, or whatever way they want, just by clicking on the link of the invoice which we have sent them. Then the reporting is so good in cloud accounting software. They are real time, and they provide you endless report. They provide you options to customize report. They provide you analytics. They provide you insight of the reports. They provide you the graphical presentations. We say this, that a picture speaks more than any words. Like one picture speaks thousand of the words. So it's like if you present your financials with graphs, with charts, it speaks more than what you present those in numbers. It takes time for us to understand those numbers, go over those big balance sheet, trial balances, or profit and loss. But if we have some graphical presentations, if we have pie chart, if we have line chart, if we have area chart, those things are easily understandable by anybody. They can just pinpoint and understand what is going on. So those reports are easily and readily available in cloud accounting softwares. It helps you to manage your task, it helps you to manage your time, it helps you to keep the reimbursement ledger separate, wherein you need to get reimbursed by your clients. You can track all the expenses which needs to be billed to the customers. You can manage big projects, because all these cloud accounting softwares which I'm talking about have a concept of project management, wherein you can keep each and every record of the project. What are the steps pending? What are the work which needs to be done? How far we are done? Are we ready to create invoice for a particular part of the project because we have completed first stage of the project? All these facilities are available in cloud accounting software. You can create invoice, you can easily edit invoice, you can email the invoice. Also, you can set the invoice to auto get created and sent to the customers. You don't need to bother that you are creating the invoices, and then or else you are asking your accountant, or you are asking the person who is supposed to create the invoices on the first day of the month or on the third day of the month. They don't even remember always. You need to say them, "Arey, aapne invoice create kiya kya? Please send me the invoices of the customers." You take a print, you sign them, and then you say them, "Scan and send it to the customer so that they can pay." You don't need to take these hassles. You create the invoices, or you set the template on a particular date. The invoice itself get created every month, and also, along with getting created, it sends to the customers. The clients have those invoices in their email box even without you knowing about it, because you know that I have to send them invoices on monthly basis. So why to bother about it? It is there with them. Only if there is some changes, you go, you make the changes, save those changes. Again, the invoices are ready to be sent. We'll see those things right now. Now, I think back in March this year, we came up with there was a notification wherein they said that all the companies like with certain obviously revenue limit or something like that. I do not remember the notification exactly. That they all need to use an accounting software which has an audit trail, and that audit trail should not be editable. It should not be you should not have an option to put it off or on or to delete any part of that audit log. So all the accountants really got worried. How do they get that software? Because though Tally had that feature, but it was at the will of the person using it. If we wanted, we could keep that audit trail. If we wanted, we can switch off that audit trail. But all these cloud accounting softwares has a very strong audit log or the audit trail or the activity log. Each and every step we take in these softwares are recorded, which is not in our control. That is a separate section which can be checked. Your auditor can check, the department if they want can check, and it is taking record of your login, logout, transactions entered, edited. Any part of the transaction is edited, whether it is a date, amount, customer name, breakup, splits, anything we do. It records each and everything and gives us the detail. So these softwares were already there in place for to take care of that notification which came in. So obviously that notification has been extended by 1 year, but after 1 year we will have to get into those kind of softwares which keep the audit trail, which is mandatory for them to keep. It's not at the will that if we want we can switch off that option, or else we can keep it. So those are the things which we need to be very sure of. So if we are using these one of these softwares, it is readily available over there. Now, cloud accounting software one also, obviously we have discussed much of these benefits earlier, but one of the best benefit is all these cloud accounting softwares also have mobile applications. Many times what happens is, suppose a client calls us and they say that I was trying to clear off your balances. Can you tell me how much do I need to pay you? Wow, what a great thing. The client is ready to pay, but the worst part is we don't know how much that client needs to pay us. We need to call the accountant and check what is the balance of this customer. And if we call the accountant, what the answer the accountant will have is, sir, I'll be able to tell you tomorrow when I go to office. I do not remember and I'm not able to access the system right now. So these things can be easily done by us if we are using cloud accounting software. If you have the app installed, you don't need to depend upon your team member. You just check the balances and you tell the client that this is the balance which you owe. If it wants it, you can also send them the statement via the mobile app. So they are ready to pay. So that ways it becomes so easy and it is affordable and it reduce. There are many check system which itself allows you to reduce the human errors. Now, since we are into multi-user, many times what happens, we are having team which is one team is responsible for maintaining the customer ledgers, one team is responsible for maintaining the vendor ledgers, one team might be responsible for doing day in day out accounting. So who is making error in which part, we don't know. It sometimes becomes a kind of a debate between clients and us that this entry has been done by your team and it is an error of your team, not us. But these softwares, because of the activity log, we don't need to get into those discussions. Activity log proves and sees each and everything. Who has passed those entries, where has the error occurred, what was the user who has made the error, and what time did the error happen. So it gives you each and every detail. You can share and collaborate the reports. You can have the reports emailed to you every fortnightly, every day, every week, every month, the way you want. You don't need to get into the accounting software if you're just looking for your reports. You don't need to ask your accountant to send you reports on a periodic basis when you need the reports. If you need some reports, you can have those reports customized and memorized, and it can be emailed to you on the days or on the periodic the basis which the way you decide. It reduces your paperwork so much. It allows you to store documents in each and every transactions. So if you are if you have a mandate with a customer, you take the mandate print and you keep it in a file. You maintain a hard copy file for your client. Why do you need those? If you have a mandate signed with the customer, you can attach that while creating the customer. If you have any document relating to your customer, you can assign that, you can attach that document to that particular entry, so that in future whenever you enter that or whenever you open that entry, that transaction or that workings can always be linked to, can be related to. Zoho is so powerful that it also gives you a client access. Each and every client or each and every vendor can also have access to their part of Zoho books, in the sense that they can look into their ledgers, what invoices you have created for them, what is the payment which they have made to you. They can print the statement directly from their login. They don't need to ask you for the statement. So Zoho books have client access. Each and every client can get the access to their part. They don't see your entire books. They just see their part of ledgers. They just see their part of the statement. So you have a better control over the financials. You can rely more on these datas, and you get a better understanding of the financial position, because the reports are so extensive. You can customize the report in so many different ways that whatever way you understand the reports, you can check in that ways. It syncs your banks and credit card. You can easily sync your bank and the credit card, so that every time you don't need to log in into your bank first, pull the statement or keep the bank open, and then go to your accounting software and pass the entries. It syncs. That means it is not passing any new transaction. It is not allowing you to do any online transactions, but it is just taking the feed from your bank and putting the data here, so that it is stopping you from one repetitive step of logging into your bank again and again, and then looking into the transactions. Your all transactions, whichever has cleared your bank, is there in one window. Whatever transactions the way you want to accept, you accept it. We'll see a few of these things practically when we log in into accounting software. I'll just show a few good things as a practical case study. It integrates with so many third-party app, so that it makes your work so easy. If you are into which many of our clients are forced now to do online business, like they are into Amazon, they are selling their products into Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, wherever. So it has third-party app integration. We can integrate it so that we don't need to pass those entries again and again. It takes all the entries from Amazon and it passes in your books. It takes entries from different places and it passes in your books. So it integrates with all those apps again. So might be some of the accounting softwares might not have all kind of functionality which we are looking for. Anyhow, desktop softwares are sometimes more powerful because it has some more features than what these accounting version have, like the cloud accounting have. But then it is allowing you to integrate with many apps. Suppose you have warehouses and factory, or you have manufacturing unit. So if you have some software wherein you are maintaining all these stuffs, you can have the app integrated with this accounting software, so that you don't need to pass the double entries. Soho books have, like Zoho as a company, it has so many different softwares for each and every technology related solution. It has all kind of digital platforms for different stuffs, but it all, the best part is it all integrates with each other. If you are using Zoho Invoice, if you are using Zoho Expense, it all integrates with Zoho books, and you don't need to do double entry. One thing done from one place gets into the other place. If you are using Zoho CRM, wherein you maintain all your sales lead and all your pitch and everything, once a lead is converted into a customer, you can pull that customer into QuickBooks, sorry, into Zoho Books. It integrates with Zoho Books, so that you don't need to again create that data over there. If you invoice anything through CRM, it comes over here in Zoho Books. So each and every software, whether it is in-house or whether it is an app, third-party app, it can be integrated and you can make best use of the software. You can have your own standard templates. You can set the templates the way you want. If you are creating an invoice, you might want that the invoice should be, since you had the hand printed invoice in blue color or in orange color, you want that the invoices which goes from these cloud accounting software should also match with your hand printed invoices or the designed templates. You can set those templates as well. So it allows you with so much of flexibility. It allows you with so many features. It has different like version, different options or different features with the prices. So if you are only looking for limited features, why do you pay for all the features? You only pay for the features which you need. If you don't need branch reporting, if you don't need class reporting, why would you go for such higher version? If you are a small company, you use the very basic version of those softwares so that you don't need the advanced features and you don't pay for it. So these are the facilities which is provided by them. Now, talking about one particular cloud accounting software, I'll be showing you like few good features practically in two of the cloud accounting software. First, we'll focus on Zoho Books, then I'll show you few more things in QuickBooks as well. Zoho Books as a platform, it is a very good accounting software which is now extensively being used in India, and moreover it has integrated with ICAI and it is providing us Zoho Books free of cost for 3 years. ICAI and Zoho Books have come together to provide us this cloud accounting software with all the features, with all the premium features. The premium version of this Zoho Books is now being provided to the chartered accountants without any cost for next 3 years. So what we need is just a unique membership number and a unique email ID, which we have never used to register to the Zoho Books. If we have used to an email ID to register to any of the Zoho products, then it won't be, we won't be able to register with the same email ID. But if with our membership number or our firm membership registration number and a unique email ID, we can register with Zoho Books and use its all the premium features. So the link to register for the free Zoho Books is zoho.com/lp/books/ICAI. I will put this in chat. I'm not sure if I have, yes, I think I have an option to put in chat. Yeah. Yes, here it is. Please take this link, and if you want, you can try now as well. Just click on this link. I'll wait for a minute so that everyone can open this link and try this. You just need the membership number or the firm name, a unique email ID with the membership number and the contact number. Create your own password and you can just create your Zoho Books. So any cloud accounting software to start with, it does not ask you much of details. With the very basic information, you can just get into it and you can start using it. All the preferences, all the further settings can be done once you are into the Zoho Books. I'll just wait for a few seconds and then I'll log in and I'll show you a few good features. How does it work? So let's proceed further. Please keep this link, and I would request like all the participants who have still not tried it, at least try it for your own purpose. Either try to maintain your firm's accounts into Zoho Books because you are not paying anything. Rather, you are benefiting so much that you are getting into a cloud accounting software. You are able to explore it. You are able to learn it so that you can also ask your clients to shift to cloud accounting softwares. And if they are already thought of moving into cloud accounting software, you are ready to provide them the service. Unless you know that, unless you get confidence in the software, you are not able to provide or solve all their problems. So you need to be ready with this software to be with an hands-on experience. So since you are not paying anything, why don't you just sign it and try to explore it? Now, once you get into this cloud accounting software, this is your dashboard page, which you can further modify per your needs. But then in the homepage itself, you know so many things. If you come to the homepage, you see few good dashboards, which gives you an idea what are your top expenses, what is the income and expenses for by month. If you want, you can check it on cash basis. If you want, you can check it on accrual basis. By default, it is giving you this fiscal year. If you want to check for any other previous year, you can. If you want to check for last 6 months, 12 months. So all these things are available, readily available in the homepage. You don't need to go to any reports even. So on the homepage, you know what is the balance due from your customers, what are the payables which is due, how are you performing, what is the position of your cash flow, what are the balances, what is the money which came in, what is the money which went out of your bank, what is your cash balance as of start of the year, what is your cash balance as of end of the year. So you know so many things from your dashboard, and when you start working, you can add more things. Any recent update in the software can be seen from here, or it comes as notification wherein it says what enhancements they have done. So you can check on those enhancements, and you can, if it is beneficial for you, you can use it. So in the same way, there are so many different things which we can do over here. So now, since like the first part, I wanted to give you a fair idea about the technology, cloud accounting, and these kind of stuff. I will just shift my entire like session into a practical case study of Zoho Books first. So moving to the practical case study of Zoho Books, we first need to start by setting up our Zoho Books. Whoever is using Zoho Books, or whoever is thinking of using Zoho Books, what do I suggest is, what are the steps which you should first take so that your Zoho Books is ready for you to use? Once you have registered, once you have logged in, the first thing which you need to do is have all your masters ready. By masters, what do I want to say is, you should first, whatever accounting software you are using, you should have the data, that is your chart of accounts. By chart of accounts, I mean to say ledgers, your customers, your vendors, that means your debtors, your creditors, your item list. All these things should be pulled in a spreadsheet, and you should have ready to import over here. You don't need to create all these things one by one. All these things can be imported one by one. So if you have list of 100 ledgers, you don't need to create each ledger one by one. What you can do is, you can come over here, go to chart of accounts, and import the format from here. So when you go to import chart of accounts, you have an option to download the sample file. Be it Zoho Books, be it any other cloud accounting software, whenever you try to import your ledgers, your vendors, your customers, I always suggest to download the sample file. You should always try to first download their sample file, see the sample file, what all fields are they looking for, what all fields are compulsory, what all fields do you need to put in. Then from the spreadsheet which you have prepared, put the data into their format, so that when you import, your work becomes so easy. It really makes your work easy if you are prepared with their template, because at that time you don't need to bother about whether you have set the template well, what item in your Excel should match with what item in their ledgers. So those things are not required. I think it's taking some time to download. Give me a sec. Just a sec. I think It is taking some time. Let me try to download the sample file again. Not sure why it is not downloading now. It is taking some time. By the time we proceed further, we'll see that. So once you download the sample file, what do I suggest is first always go and try to create a new account manually over here. By this, what do we do is we come to know what are the fields which is compulsory. So we know that the account type is compulsory over here. We have to have the account type in the spreadsheet when we prepare. And by account type, we also see is the account type is not dependent on us. We cannot create any new account type. They have all possible account type which one should have. Like any item of trial balance over here is divided into different account types. Whether it is income, whether it is expenses, and expenses you have cost of goods sold, then you have equity, which is your reserves and surplus, then you have liabilities, which you have current liabilities, long-term liabilities, then you have assets. So you have each and every part of it. So we know that we need to take exact name from here for the account type. We cannot just type in anything because it need to match from here, otherwise it won't allow you to import. Then second thing which is compulsory is the account name. Obviously a ledger needs to have a name, otherwise how will it recognize it? So these two fields are compulsory. Whenever we open the spreadsheet, we know that we need to have these two fields typed in compulsory, and then if we want to put an account code, we can. If we don't, we don't. But account code is always beneficial to use because it helps you to arrange your profit and loss and balance sheet in a much better way. For example, I many times I always try to explain the advantage of account code so that when you start using these cloud accounting software, you start using account code from the very first day. So if I talk from a chartered accountant firm, so we provide so many different services. We provide audit services, we provide GST compliances, we provide income tax, we provide uh, ROC compliances and so other stuffs. Might be for one of us, our audit is our major revenue, but for some other ROC work might be our major revenue. So what do we want to see is in our financials in the revenue section, whichever revenue model provides me the major revenue should be on the top. So that is in 4000 series or whatever number we give. So if we are able to arrange the revenue by the code, we see that the revenue, which is our top line, shows on the first in our profit and loss. Same way these expenses or cost of goods sold, the expenses, which is our major expense item, that shows on the top. So that ways we are easily able to arrange our financials as per us. We are not allowing the software to arrange it automatically alphabetically. Otherwise, what will the software do? It will arrange the revenue alphabetically, then it will arrange the cost of goods sold alphabetically, then it will arrange the expenses alphabetically. But if we want, by putting the account code, we can arrange it as per us. So once we have created one of the ledger manually over here, we know what fields are compulsory. Based on that, we can have the spreadsheet ready when we download the sample file, and in one go, whether we have 100 ledgers or 200 ledgers, we can all import them and have our chart of accounts ready. After having chart of accounts ready, in the same process, we should go and create customers. Again, while creating customers, the same step should be taken. We should try to import the customers, and while importing, we should always try to first create one manually and see what all fields are compulsory, and based on that, we can then import the customers. Same way we can import the vendors, that is our creditors, and then we can import the items. Once we have all these major things imported, if we have branch, we can also import the branches. Then the next step which we should follow is creating opening balances. So what are the steps which we should remember? First, after creating Zoho books, since we are giving demo of Zoho books, I'm using Zoho books as a name, that Once you log in into Zoho Books, after that you first create your ledgers, then chart of customers, then vendors, then items. Once you have done those things, then you come and put the opening balances. Opening balance sheet can be put from here. You go to settings and you go to opening balances. Over here, we put the opening balances. We can also put all the items in detail with the stock quantity and everything that can be imported over here. We can import the customer balances by name. We can import the vendor balances by name, and the other items can be created one by one. So if we have all the details, we put in the details and our opening balance sheet matches. If it does not match, if we do not have the entire details at that particular point, we can put the opening balance adjustments. It itself takes into opening balance adjustment, and later on we can come and edit it. As and when we provide, we get the details, we can provide the details over here and save it so that our opening balance sheet is matched in balance sheet. So what all can be imported can be seen over here. We can import all our items with the opening stock. We can import the contacts with their opening balances, which is customers and the vendors. And we need to put a migration date, which is very, very important. What is your starting point? So suppose you are planning to start entering the transactions from 1st April 2021. It is always advisable that you put the migration date as 31st March 2021, which is your opening balances. So you have the balances as of the ending date of the last financial year, and you start fresh from the current financial year. You have options to import your data for prior years into Zoho Books, but for that you need a little bit of advanced knowledge of Zoho Books, or you need to hire some experts which is available who have patch files. Using those patch files, they import your data of Tally from Tally to Zoho Books. So once you have these things in place, you are ready to start using Zoho Books. You have the opening balances, you have created your your masters, and you can start using it. Now, let me show you a few good features which this software has. Is from banking window, you can add and set any of the banks. See over here, this bank has been synced. So it's very easy to sync a bank, wherein what do we do is, we suppose you want to add a bank, you go over here, add a bank, select the bank, put in the, it will be self-driven. You put in the details of your bank, the username and the password. It asks for some OTP which comes in your mobile. You put that and your bank syncs. When you sync your bank, that doesn't mean the transaction is affecting your financials. All the transactions which syncs stays in this window as uncategorized transactions. That means these transactions has surely cleared your bank, but you have still not accepted from here into your books. So if you are maintaining your books on live, like you are entering your transaction on day-to-day basis, then these transactions won't be duplicate transactions for you. You just come over here. If these if Zoho Books finds a matching transaction, it gives you a match. It says you that this looks to be a possible match for the transactions which you are seeing in the bank. If you want to match it, you just match it. That means it does not add the transactions. It is just matching the transaction. There's already a transaction in your books and it matches with the bank. So they both, while reconciling it, when you go to reconcile window, it knows that it has cleared your bank. It puts a check mark that these items have cleared your bank. So it benefits in two ways. If the transactions are already entered, you match it, and in the reconciliation, your work becomes so simple. Since it is from a bank feed, it easily understands that it has surely cleared your bank, so you don't need to manually and go do your reconciliation again. By any reason, if you have missed to enter these transactions, you can come here directly and enter the transaction with all the possible details which you want. And the best part is, you have the exact bank description over here, which helps you to recognize the transaction very easily. If we try to put in description, we will never put the description in such details which we find in the bank. We just put in description in short. But over here, we get the entire bank description. If we want to put additional description, we are always allowed to put the additional description for us to remember, as well as we can always check what does bank have to say, so that in future it helps us to recognize the transaction much easily. So this way, not only bank, we can also integrate our credit card, because now extensively, like outside India, people uses credit card for their business very, very extensively. The same way in India also, now we have started using credit card. Earlier it was just for personal purpose, but now along with personal, we also use credit card for our business purpose extensively. So those expenses also needs to be recorded over here. So we don't need to put each and every transaction manually. Whatever we do through credit card, the credit card can also be synced over here. Moreover, it has a very, very good feature of document. So you can suppose we have spent some money using credit card, and the receipt which we get for the expense which we make through credit card is so small, and those inks surely slowly and slowly dies out. If you try to check the same receipt after a few days, you are not able to read it. But if you are but if you want, you can if you are using the mobile app, you can scan and keep the document over here, so that when you get into these overbooks, you can easily use that document which has been uploaded over here, and you can enter the expenses. It is with the OCR system. It reads the document. You don't need to type in everything. I'll show you in another user how does it read the document, and it takes the amount, vendor name, the description of the invoice, and you just need to put in the ledger. If it is not identifying it, you just check all the details are correct and you enter the transactions. So it is along with the OCR system which helps you not to put the things manually. It put things for you, you just check it. You are then playing the role of checker rather than the maker. So this part is very important. Now let's see, whenever you enter any kind of transactions, if you are entering an invoice, you have an option to add a document over here. You can upload file over here, and you can upload up to maximum 10 files, and each file can be of 5 MB. So do you really think that we need more in one particular transaction to upload? We don't need, in any one transaction, we don't need to upload more than 10 documents or such. And it cannot be like, we can easily reduce the file size if the file size is too big, or we can reduce the, or we can break the pages of 5 MB each, and we can upload if the document is big and with a very big like size of the file. So we can put all the details over here and we can accept it. And if you want to send the this particular transactions, you can easily save and send it, save and share it, or else if you want, you can save and print it. If I want, I can also create it as a recurring transaction. So from here, we have option called make recurring. So if I click on this transactions becomes recurring. That means I can set it as a template to occur or to reoccur on a particular date and time. So if I want this transaction to be entered on the first of every month, along with entering the transactions, if I want that this transaction should be emailed, this invoice should be emailed to my customer, my make recurring transaction will set it up till that extent that it goes to my customer's email box. I don't need to worry about it. Same way, the way we are creating an invoice, if I come over here, I can create a bill, and even in a bill, we have option to attach the transaction. It is not just the invoice. More, we need more to attach on bills, because we get bills from our vendors in our email box, whether it is telephone bill, whether it is any kind of bill. These days, everyone, even if you go shopping, they say you that you have received your invoice as an SMS link. Please go and download your invoice from there. So why do you need to download? You can open it over here and you can directly attach it. Why do you need to cut a paper? Why do you need to cut a tree? Why do you need to take a print? You just attach the document over here. So this way, as I was saying you in the earlier part of my presentation, that cloud accounting itself helps you to become paperless, to be on cloud. So if you are attaching document over here, just think anything related to your accounting, anything which is related to your customers, your vendors, your day in, day out transactions, you don't need to have a separate place of keeping the documents on cloud. You are just keeping it at one place in your accounting software so that it is on cloud, And whenever you open the transactions, along with the transaction, you are able to refer to the document. So that way it becomes so helpful for you to have everything in one place. You can also, there are many transactions which are uh, rent, like depreciation. These transactions are such that we need to pass it on monthly basis. Why do we want to give our time even to pass those entries wherein we are very sure that these transactions have to occur? We need to pass this entry. We can set them as recurring transactions, and in this way the transactions are automatically entered in my books. I don't need to even bother about. As I was saying you earlier, that you can also give access to your customers of the software so that they can access their part of the software. So if you come over here, you have an option wherein you can assign the customer the user ID and the password. Like they will create their own password, they will get a link, but for that one thing is compulsory is the email ID. If you put the email ID, and then you can send a link to them wherein they can create, they can log in into their ID and they can check their records. I think this version will not allow because this is with limited version. Just a minute, I'll log in into my user and then I'll be able to show you that. You can create multiple user as well. I'll show you that too. So if you go to customers, yeah. So if you put the email ID, after that, you have an option wherein you can assign the portal to the client. What would be the language of the portal, and whether you want to assign a user as a customer owner to provide access only to the data of this customer. So we can do that as well. So what happens is, in that case, the customer will be able to log in, and then they will be able to check their own ledger. We can add as many details of the customers we want so that we can remember them. We can send them marketing stuffs directly from here. So this way we can organize it so well. Now let's see how can we easily find any stuffs. On the top you have a search option wherein you have so many different options to search. Whatever you want to search in the entire software can be easily done from the home page. When you are in the dashboard page, here on the top you have a search. What kind of search you are looking for, you just come over here. You just remember one simple thing. So suppose I want to see everything related to a particular expense. So let's see meals. So I just type in meals and the entire meals ledger come in. I can drill into the ledger. This way we can search and we can go to a great extent, and we don't need to drill into any details. We don't need to go into a particular place. If you are looking for a transaction, we can search everything from here. We also have an advanced search wherein if we search for chart of accounts, we can give the account name, or if we remember the account code, we can give the account code and we can search over here. Same way, if we go to like recurring bills, we can search based on the date range or whatever way we want. So the search field over here is of great help. Now you have on the left top a button called add. So in this add, any kind of transaction which you want to enter, you have all these screens over here. You need not go to any other place. You want to add a user, you click over here. You want to add a customer, you want to create an invoice, you want to create a recurring invoice, you want to create an expense bill, whatever you want to create, you see everything over here. You don't need to search from where do I need to enter a particular thing. You can come over here to the add button and you can directly go over there. Now you have an option over here also to create budget. You can create your own budget and then see whether you are able to achieve the target or not. It helps you, it gives you, sometimes, many times we create budget in spreadsheet. We have something in our mind for our business. What are we going to perform this year? What is our target for this financial year? So if we have those financials entered, if we have those budget which is there in our mind entered over here, how does it help us is whenever we want, we can compare those budget with the actuals and see where did we go off, which part is not what did we expect. So this way it is really helpful for us to create budget and compare it with actuals. Now it also has few good features like bulk update. If we have made any mistake, we can come to this bulk update. Suppose a transaction, there was a particular vendor which the person entering the transaction did not understand, and it put all into travel, wherein it should go into some other ledger, it should go into lodging, or it should go into meals. So you can select the account which you want to change. You can put the detail, you can put the amount, whatever you want. Suppose I search for uh, meals or bank charges, bank fees and charges, and I click on search. It gives me all the transaction. I can select them all, and wherever I want to update it, I can update it. So it helps me. As soon as I click on update, it gives me another screen wherein it asks me where do you want to change this item to. So if I want to put all these transaction into some other ledger, I can do that as well. So it everywhere, in every part, you will see that it helps you to make your work easy, faster, and more accurate. It also has the functionality of multi-currency. If you have your business over here, but you need to send your invoice to the customer in another currency, you can put the multi-currency feature on, and you can create invoices. You can choose one of your home currency. Suppose you are based to if, since we are in India, we want to keep the home currency as India, and if you want other currencies for invoicing and other stuffs, you can use those, and you can always check the reports in your home currency. It takes care of foreign exchange rate, it takes care of the rate on that particular day. But if you want, if you are invoicing, you know that you have created invoice with some other exchange rate, you can always go ahead and change it. So those benefits are always available over here. Now, the thing which I was showing you, since it did not have any invoice in my other sample company, in this company, I there was an expense which I uploaded over here, a receipt which I uploaded over here. Now I want to create invoice. I want to create an expense out of these this particular image which I have uploaded over here. I select it and I create it as an expense, add to as an expense. See what it takes. So this is the image. I did not do anything, and it, from the OCR, it read and it filled in the date for me. It filled in the amount for me. Since it was in dollars, it put in the dollar value, and it is giving me the rate at which it will be converted. And then that rate is of that particular date. And then it is also giving me the notes, which is the description. It is giving me the invoice number. Since this vendor does not exist in my system, it could not fill in. If it would have been there, it would have be able to catch that as well. And then how am I paying it? What is my expense account? I need to select it. It will also catch those things once I use the same vendor document to process it again and again. So in such a way, it helps me to feed in so much of data that my work is more of checker than of processor. So it becomes so fast. My work becomes so fast over here. If I upload all my documents over here, it becomes easy. All the documents, whatever I have uploaded in the system, can be seen over here, and whatever document I want to download, I can download from here. Zoho Books also integrate with Google Sheets and your spreadsheet. If you have all your details of your invoices in a Google Sheet, if you set it in a template in such a way that Google Zoho Books can read, you can import all your details from there to here. If your different salespersons, once they make the sale, they enter the details in Google Sheet, you give them a format wherein they feed in all the details over here. You don't need to again put in all the details over here. You sync it after your last transaction, whatever is that it has entered, it enters rest of your transactions over here. Next important thing which I wanted to show is like suppose this is profit and loss. I can schedule this profit and loss for email. I can set it to email me on every month, weekly, daily, whatever frequency I want. And I can also set the time. I want this report. I know that my accountant updates the report every weekly Saturday by 5 p.m. So I want to set this report to receive on Saturday, every Saturday at 6 p.m. So I set it at 6 p.m. I put the email ID. If I want it to be sent to some additional person, I put their email ID over here. By default, it takes the email ID from which the accounts has been created. I want it in PDF format. I want it in Excel format, whatever format I want. I put over here and I save it. So as soon as I save it, that financials would be ready, available in my inbox. So it is something which I can change over here. Like I can suppose every time I want YTD report to be emailed to me. So I can check this over here. So I can put this here. So it will always email me the financials as of today. So whatever transactions has been updated for this financial year, that report will go to me. If I want, I can share this report. I can print this report. I can export this report in spreadsheet. The best part is I can also export it in Zoho sheet and Excel. So when we export in Excel, it comes with formulas. So it helps me to understand the report better, to make changes easily if I have to make any changes. And these reports are so extensive. If you come over here, whatever report you just think of, the reports are ready. Now, I was talking about activity log. If you come over here in the report section, you have something called activity log. This is the activity log which I was talking about. Any changes, anything happens in the system, it records each and everything over here. All the transactions, all the changes, everything is seen over here. What I can do is I can click over here and I can see the versions. If there are two versions of a particular transaction, I can also compare it. So if there has been changes to this transaction, I select the version 1, version 2 and click on compare. It will easily tell me what changes has been done in the versions. If it has been modified, it will show by yellow highlight. If it has been removed, it shows me with this highlight. And if I have added anything new, it shows me with green highlight. Since it is just that might be I just opened it and saved it with with no changes. That is why it has just created a version rather than showing me any changes. So this way you can compare with any changes in any record which you think is not correct and you want to understand how did it happen. It gives you place to add temporary note and such many other features are available over here. If you want to create users, you can set it from here. If you want to add branches, if your offices are at different branches, each with different GST number, you can set them as branches and each branch reporting can be done together. You can see consolidated report, you can see profit and loss by branch, you can see profit and loss by company as a whole. So there are endless features which I can just go on and talking about. So you have options over here for time tracking, wherein you can track time whenever you start with the work. You can start the timing over here, put a note and start the timer. It is now starting recording the time. So suppose as soon as I started this session, I could have started recording my time. So I know that I have given 2 hours of where did I spend 2 hours of my day today. So it is like this part of the work is not that I can charge to any client. So I know this is a task which I have done, which is not billable to any customer. But if I want to select a customer and I want to record that particular time to that customer, I can do that. So what will happen when I go to invoice the customer, at that time it will show me all the time spent and it will ask me whether I want to convert that time to the invoice. So in that ways, I can have all the things at one place. If I organize it, if I try to use it to its best, I can have each and every part of my day recorded over here, each and everything invoiced over here. I do not forget anything. I can create tasks. I can create a project, and based on the project, I can record timings. I can record like the steps which is required, whatever thing I want. So I can create a project. I can create the customer's name. How do I want to build this project, whether it is on hourly basis, whether it is on cost basis. So I can keep the cost budget, I can keep the revenue budget, I can create tasks for this particular project. And based on the task, what are the tasks which is billable? What are the tasks which is non-billable? If I mark a task as non-billable, then what will happen? That won't appear when I create customer's invoice. And those tasks which is billable, it will come in my customer's records when I create a bill. This way, whenever you create an expense, you can mark them whether that expense is billable to a customer. You can select the customer's name so that if it is billable to a customer, you can put the customer's tag over here. So when you go to that customer to create an invoice, it will show that this expense you wanted to invoice it to a customer. You can always create that, and so that your expense reimbursement part, which is a big part for a chartered accountant, you never lose control of that. You can attach receipt over here. So you exactly know, you can also send it to the customer that this was the expense which I had paid for you. That is why I'm asking for you. Now, again, going to reporting section, what I was talking about in the earlier part, that you should do some kind of value addition to your client. These cloud accounting softwares help you to do that. It has such advanced analytics reports. Like if you go to sales and receivable dashboard, you have so many reports available over here, all in charts and formats with data. So it gives you so many different things. These kind of reports, we just think of making it. We try to analyze it. How can I make these reports? But here it gives you so many different ideas, so many different reports which are already ready, so that you get a fair idea. What do I need to send to my customers? Might be all of these reports are not useful to you, but you get so many good ideas that these are the stuffs. You can place it to the clients. What all do they need? Out of that, you pull that particular part and you provide it to your customer. If not, you can use Google Data Studio. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. You can design such good reports, live dashboard to in Google Data Studio. Even if you take a purchase version, very good. If you don't take a purchase version, it is a free like a free software which is provided by Google Suite, like the G Suite. If you have a Gmail ID, you can use Google Data Studio, you can use Intrasite, you can organize your entire office so well. So my concept, my idea today was not like, obviously in 2 hours I cannot give you a full-fledged training on cloud accounting. I just wanted to give you the what is the need of the hour. Why do we need cloud accounting software? We need cloud accounting software so that we can ease our pressure, we can bring things all at one place, we can have less time spent on actual accounting and more time spent on growing our client, growing our own business, thinking, making strategic plans, thinking further what else can be done, what else we can add to our business line, what else we can add to our product, what else we can deliver to the client which they find as a value addition to our service. So think on those lines. Make your accounting easy. Shift to cloud accounting. Explore these softwares. If Zoho Books is allowing us to use these software 3 years free of cost, it is preparing us to know these cloud accounting softwares. Once you know this, you can also convert your clients into these softwares, and you know that since you are able to maintain these softwares, client will rely on you, they will look upon you. And if any other person looking for people who can work, who can maintain their books on Zoho Books, they will refer you. I have been referred by so many different persons. They are looking for accounting in Zoho Books, they call us. Even chartered accountants are calling us because they are getting clients who are looking to maintain their books on Zoho Books, but the chartered accountant themselves doesn't know how to use Zoho Books. So they are looking upon me. So why not we all get into this field? Why not we all explore this software, learn it, and then try to put more focus on this, try to put our clients into this. And this way we are ready for the future. We are ready with the recent technology. We are ready with the digital India, and we are ready to grow our business digitally. Whenever we face another such kind of pandemic, we see ourselves into no pressures, into no rush, into no run, that how will I work tomorrow? How will my work get continued? How will I finish my work? How will my team be working? I need to pay them salary, but they do not have any work which I can provide them to do. These things will not be an issue anymore. So I would end my session over here with uh, this particular thing. So over to the uh, Bangalore ICI team so that they can see if there's any question.
Yeah, thank you, Sarita. A fabulous session on cloud computing. So
Thank you,
I
sir.
couldn't join some technical glitches. I couldn't join. I think I was not audible, it seems. Sorry for that
No
because I
worries, sir.
was outside the office and I couldn't reach office on time because of some traffic issues. So sorry for that. Anyhow, so it was after that I joined a fantastic session. In fact, you explained in detail what are the advantages, the data security, and anytime, anywhere, cost effective, improves the efficiency and qualities. So many advantages. In fact, I think the pandemic taught us, and this is the right time for everyone to move towards this cloud computing. That is the need of the hour. In fact, we can reduce the cost through this cloud computing because we need not sit in any particular place. You can work anywhere, so that so this decongestion of the cities can be done. You can ask your employee work from home whenever the accounting, all those things is possible. So that is, I think it's a very, very good idea, so that every chartered accountant or the every company can look into, instead of a standalone computer software maintaining. This is quite cost effective. I think all the participants understood this, and I think many are already started this Zoho and many other cloud computing already. Thank you very much. We had a fabulous session, Sarita. I think we
Thank
don't
you, sir.
have
Thank
any
you.
questions as such. I can't see any questions.
Don't think so.
So thank you. Divya, are you there?
Yes, I am there, sir.
Yeah, please propose formal vote of thanks to this.
So, so members, I take this opportunity to propose formal vote of thanks for second day's program. Wholehearted thanks to Sarita Agarwal for giving an excellent presentation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
on behalf of all the participants and also on behalf of entire managing committee of Bangalore branch. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very thankful for giving me this opportunity.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you all participants also for your active participation.
Yeah, tomorrow 4 p.m. sharp.
4 p.m. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.